goes back. The chair recognizes himself for 4 minutes. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being patient with us. We had a series of votes, and there were some of us that didn't have a chance to ask you some questions. We appreciate your sticking around for this. I voted for the McKeon Amendment yesterday, but I recognized in doing so that it was one element, and it has a limited duration, and we'll be back to, at the very least, consider what we're going to do about that one element. But obviously, it's one element of what is going to be a much bigger strategy, and the President has some key decisions to make there. We heard you talk about some of those today. My first question is it the President's intent, your intent, to come back to us with a bigger strategy, the full strategy, so we can understand how that element and other elements fit together and operate together? And if so, will you bring that back with a new AUMF? Because there are those that believe that there needs to be a new AUMF, and we can get into the legal arguments about it, but as a matter of good policy, would you think that in addition to just giving us a strategy, there should be an AUMF that accompanies it?
Congressman, thank you. On the AUMF, as you heard me say this morning and what the President has said, he believes he has the authority to do what he needs to do to keep this country safe and to degrade and defeat ISIL within the statutory authority that now exists. He's also said, as I've said, that he would welcome the President or the Congress's involvement, would welcome a rewrite of any of those authorizations. That's up to the Congress. But in the meantime, he feels strongly that he needs to take action on these threats now. As to strategy, the strategy that the President generally laid out to the American people last week, as I am up here testifying on today, Secretary Kerry is as well, has been. I was in the Senate a couple of days ago, as you know. Other cabinet members have been up. We've been up briefing over the last 2 weeks, as you know, in closed-door sessions, and I'm sure you've been part of those briefings, all in an effort to further define and bring some clarity to the strategy. How are we implementing it? What resources we're going to continue to need? What are the dynamics to each of these? So I don't think the strategy changes. Obviously, as we comply with the continuing resolution limits having to come back in December with more information, and I suspect in the next 3 months we'll have more fidelity and clarity on a number of things. As you know, these are fluid, dynamic challenges. We have to be prepared for that, be ready for that. So the basic strategy I don't think is going to change or shift, but as we evolve in our requirements and how we're implementing that strategy will, I suspect, by necessity, be redefined and changed and shifted, just the tactics of how we're implementing it.
Well, let me offer this observation, not advice, just an observation. In listening to my colleagues in the House, as we were debating the amendment, as we were talking among ourselves, I think it would be very helpful to you in getting successful votes in the future if there was a clearly articulated strategy, complete, comprehensive strategy. And I think it would equally help if it was accompanied with a new AUMF. There are some of us that took the vote yesterday knowing that it was of a limited time duration, that we were only talking about one element, and I think it would strengthen our ability to support you and support the President and perhaps gain some more votes if we had it all laid out for us. It was all put together in a package. I'm not trying to get into a legal argument with you or the President about legal authority. I'm talking about good policy. So I just offer that observation to you and hope that you'll take that back to the President.
Congressman, thank you. I will. I understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much, sir.